Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I'm going to be talking about the step up spawn with the new gear and stuff like that. Alright, so to first start off, I want to just throw out there for you guys that want to get to the point. If you're not after the new gear, I do not recommend the step up spawn. Reason for that being is, as you can see, it's legitimately a monster spawn, except they have more stuff in here, and a lot of it's not even monster orientated or around monsters at all, so it's kind of useless, and I don't see the point in really having it if it's supposed to be a monster spawn. With that being said, because they added more stuff, there's going to be less rates on the monsters and all that stuff, so that way these can have rates themselves. So overall, since there's so many of them, it's going to be harder to obtain these monsters. So I just recommend waiting for another monster step up spawn if you even need to, because they came out with so many step up spawns, they came out with so many monster spawns, that I don't even know if you guys really need to at this point in time really go over another step up monster spawn. But if you plan to, if you think about it, if you want to try this still, I do not recommend this one. This one has a lot lower rates than, I'm not going to say a lot lower rates, but this one has lower rates than most step up monster spawns will, because they have a lot of extra stuff in there. So the rates are going to be divided between everything. I mean, the new stuff as well as the monsters. So the monsters will have a less chance to drop, a less opportunity to drop, and you probably don't want to be wasting your gems. So I don't recommend touching this spawn if you're just after the monsters in general. If you are waiting for another step up spawn, this step up spawn will be only for the people who care about the new gear itself. Alrighty, so for the new gear, we got first the monster Edward Teach. Edward Teach is not going to be a board breaker with the damage he's doing. He's not going to be exactly heavy hitter, but he's going to leave marks with the damage he does. He's definitely going to leave a couple marks. As for life drain, he applies 10% life drain all lasts for 60 seconds. Now, this is a really good ability, because this ability is pretty much going to be based on something you're going to be doing anyways, and that would be attacking. And I don't know if you might argue, oh, it's only 10% life drain, blah this and blah that. How about we get an enemy to throw a 10 barrier on themselves, right? Let's just throw a 10 barrier. You attack it and you tell me if you die in your first hit. Usually late gamers would usually say yes unless they throw an attack out that has 70 or lower ability power, and I'm not sure about mid gamers, but I'm assuming they're gonna say yes as well. You're doing more damage than you have health, so that 10% life drain is still gonna be pretty dang good, and it's gonna heal by a decent amount because you're doing a lot more damage than you are health. If you were to hit yourself once with one of your regular abilities, I'm pretty sure you kill yourself within the first shot. So you're definitely doing a lot more damage than you are health. So that life drain can be very helpful. Life drain can be helpful in all scenarios. Player versus player or player versus enemy. Coliseums and S-rank guild battles, they last a while. The matches, before they even get to the crystal wave or the crystal defense or guild bond or whatever they call them, crystal defense and crystal assault, before they even get to those, they last a while. Coliseums will last a while. So this is a good way to flip the tables, is by throwing a life drain on there, so you heal based on something you're already doing in the first place. It's very good, it's very helpful, and it's very essential, and I think it can legitimately clutch. I think it can flip the tables for the team. I'm not sure completely. There are people who probably experienced this and probably had no beneficial effects from this, but as far as I could see, it would make the most sense to me that it can be very clutch. And for Fire Unison lock can be very helpful for ranked guild battles at the moment, because there is this monster, I can't say her name, Egyptian lady. She doesn't wear a lot of clothes. Can't say her name. She has like the red hair. She's a fire type. Nicaris. I'm not really sure what she's called, but she has a Windlock, and Windlock will disapprove or not allow Kyra to be popped. And everybody uses Kyra. Kyra is one of the monsters to go. Kyra is one of the most useful monsters to have. A lot of people have Kyra. So she locks him, And this monster right here, Edward, locks her. So if you lock her, she's not able to use her when Unison lock, thus allowing Kairots to be all over the freaking field. So that is very good right there and very essential itself. As for Coliseum, I can't really see any use for it in Coliseum at all yet, at least. I could be wrong, but I can't really see a use for it in Coliseum at least yet. It might in the future. I feel like it might in the future, but as for now, I don't really see a use in it. In Karma can be good because if enemies have a lot of buffs, it flips them right into the debuffs. So if they have like 60% attack and 80% magic attack, they're gonna have negative 60% attack and negative 80% magic attack. So it pretty much flips them around to debuffs, completely flips them around. And then they stun the enemies too, so there is a chance that they're going to stun them at an 80% chance, I believe. And if they stun them, their first move is going to have to do nothing because they're stunned. Stun allows one move to become completely useless. And then they have the reduce and recover 20 costs. Pretty dang good. Unison Gouge is a lot more preferred over the cost, but the cost can be helpful because without cost, you're unable to attack, and attack allows you to do damage to the enemy team, and you have a little bit of Unison Gouge gain as well. So that can be very useful because cost can set back a lot of things, especially if you're already on low cost in the first place. It's going to set back a lot of damage that you could have potentially done. Well, I'm not going to say a lot. It might set back one or two abilities that possibly could have done a lot of damage to you. Anyways, going on with that, and it casts Frenzy on itself. On yourself, I meant to say. Not itself. That'd be weird if a monster casts Frenzy on itself. Can you imagine it floating around with like those circle fields or whatever? Anyways, applies Frenzy to your character. Frenzy is very good. It eliminates status alignments and debuffs right away and nullifies them for the first 60 seconds. So if a monster or the opposing field cannot remove Frenzy, like they have to legitimately remove Frenzy, then you don't have to deal with debuffs or status alignments at all, or damage down, or any of that stuff. You're just going straight for the kill. Straight for the kill. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. So this monster can be very useful for ranked guild battles. As for Coliseum, it can be useful for Coliseum. It might have more use in the future, but I can't really see that. I mean, I don't know if people really use Kairat in the Coliseum a lot or not. If they do, then yes, this is definitely going to be a good monster to use in the Coliseum, so that way they can't pop, what's their name, Nycrosis, that has the one lock. But if they don't use Kairat, it could be better in the future. It's not going to be that good. As for the weapons themselves, these weapons have really good things that replace attack, and they offer a decent flat stats or base stats. As for the abilities are all going to be the monster itself too. The monster is actually more based around the event than the actual ranked guild battles or Coliseums. Same for the weapons. All these weapons in this monster, all the new stuff that you've seen came out in the step up spawn is going to be based on the octopus, because, well, the water element's self-explanatory. I mean, this is a fire element monster, so getting that stuff will help out with the fire event monster because you're gonna have the elemental advantage. You probably want the elemental advantage if you don't have a monster with Unison lock, because this monster doesn't just fight by itself. It fights with, like, I don't know, these, I think they're pieces of them. I'm not really sure. I couldn't see them in time. We killed it. I tried the 0 one just for craps of it, and he has like 2 other pieces of himself. This is not a super united offense. You're playing this with 5 other people. This is treated like a regular mission, though they do have some stuff that feels like a super united event, like a full max gouge, and then the monster, you have to attack like 3 of it, the main part, and then there's 2 side parts, the right and left, and it will have a field with this activated. And this field will grant positive things to the boss. There will be a card up top that will show you itself. Once you pop 1 lock, I'm not sure if it has to be fire 1 lock or not, but once you pop 1 lock, this monster buffs, like the field and all that stuff, gets removed. And the gouge fills up too. I think it's your gouge. I'm not sure if it's your gouge, but I think it's you and your allies' gouge. That way you can rush the opponent and do massive amount of damage. I hope that's what it is. I'm not really sure though. But anyways, it eliminates the pain of having to deal with the boss, like the boss's complete crap, because If you go in the battle and you don't have really a lock, or you can't really do damage enough or quick enough to the side pieces over there on the sides, like the right and left, and keep in mind, the one of the right ones will have physical nullify, and the one of the left, I'm not sure if it's left or right, but one will have physical nullify, and one will have magical nullify, apparently, I believe. They say it's somewhere right here, I believe. If you want to just go look for it, it should be somewhere in the details. I'm not exactly sure. I do remember crossing over something like that in this event that says something like that in the first place. I might be sleepy. Anyways, going on with that, what I'm trying to get at is that Firelock is going to be useful for the boss because it's going to nullify the stuff, and it's going to allow you to attack it without worrying and having to deal with the super difficultness of this boss in the first place. With that being said, I hope this helped out, and I will see you in the next video. This is the AzureWrath, and I'm out. Peace.